Discuss about the consumption function. So first of all, we have to know about the meaning of consumption function. What do you mean by consumption function? So consumption function, this is the functional relationship between consumption and income. Okay, functional relationship between consumption and income. So in here, C, it means consumption, note down. Y is national income, and F means what? Functional relationship. Okay, so consumption function refers to the functional relationship between consumption and income. So in here, see this left hand side, C depend on national income or income. So this is called the consumption function. So what I said, that functional relationship between consumption and national income is called the consumption function. So now you see, so see this one, suppose we have assumed income is 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 and 600. So at this income level, suppose your consumption is 40, 120, 200, 280, 360, 440 and 520. So now these data we can represent in a diagram to find the consumption curve. So one thing you see here, when income is 0, then consumption is positive. So in our previous video already we discussed that this is called what? Autonomous consumption. And the savings at this 0 level of income is called the this savings. Okay, now you see how we can draw. This one is the suppose diagram, the OX and OY. Okay, so now this one is the income curve Y. So now you see, when income is 0 but consumption is not 0, 40. So it means consumption curve does not start from the origin. Already in previous video we discussed why. So for example, see here 40, suppose in here 40 we have assumed. So it will start from here, and after that what you have seen, see 40, 120, 200, 280, 360 like this. It means consumption is increasing with increasing income. So definitely C curve will slope upward like this. Okay? See, it slopes upward, not the parallel. Okay, slopes upward. So now you see here, so at this point, suppose you can write E. So at this point, Y and C, it means income and consumption both intersect to each other at point E. So it means point E, it means in here Y is equal C. Y is equal C. If Y is equal C, then S is equal 0. Is it clear? At point E, Y and C intersect. So where Y is equal C. So if income and consumption both are same, then definitely savings is equal 0. For example, see here, income 200, consumption is also 200. Then what is the savings? 0. Your income 200 and your consumption is also 200, so you don't have a single rupee to save, so definitely savings is equal 0. So it means this is called the what? You can write, this is called the break even point. Break even point. It's very important. When we have to do the calculation, then you should know what is the break-even point. Suppose in your question paper you have seen that at break-even point consumption is 500, then what is the income? Then you know that then income is also 500. So that's why you have to know what is the meaning of break-even point. So break-even point means when Y is equal to C. It means you can say when savings is 0, then this is called the break-even point, when Y and C intersect at point E. Clear? Now you see this portion here to here. Suppose you can write here C bar. So now you see this portion. This portion is called what? This savings. Write down. This saving. Why this saving? Because you see this one 0 and 100. When income is 0, then consumption 40. To saving is what? Minus 40. When income is 100, then consumption is 120. Then what is the savings? Minus 20. So it's negative. So that's why it means this is called the this savings, and in this graph we have shown that this portion here to here, so this one is the this savings. Now you see when income is 300, then your consumption is 280. It means 20 rupees you can save. It means you used to save 20 rupees when income is 300 and consumption is 280. When? After this break-even point. Now you see after this break-even point, your see income curve is above than this consumption curve. So this gap means what? It means the gap between this 45-degree line and consumption curve is called what? Savings. N. Okay. So now you see the right hand part of E. This is called the savings. It means in here income is more than consumption. You have seen this graph. Income is more than consumption, so now you can save. But see the left hand side in here, C curve is above than this income curve. Now this one is the 45-degree line. So that's why this is this saving, and I have shown here. This is the for minus 40, minus 20. Okay, so this one is the diagram where you can show this savings break even point. So now you see some observation. Number one, starting point of consumption curve. So already we know that consumption curve does not start from the origin. Why? Because when income is 0, consumption is not 0. This is the autonomous consumption. At 0 level of income, it doesn't mean that your consumption will be 0, because you need some necessary goods and services to survive. So that's why consumption curve C starts from above the origin. For example, C bar. Slope of the consumption curve, so always we know that it slopes positively because increase in income, increase in consumption. So your consumption depends on your level of income. More income, more consumption. Less income, less consumption. Number 3, Y less than consumption. It means when income is less than consumption, then this is the this savings. Income is less than consumption. Income is 100, consumption is 120, so minus 20 is savings, this savings. Clear? Number 4, break even point. Income is equal consumption, already I have shown. So at point E, income is equal consumption, so definitely savings is equal 0. So income 200, consumption also 200, definitely savings is 0, and this is called the break even point. Clear? Then number 5, income is more than consumption. It means when income is more than consumption. See, income is 600, consumption is 520. So when income is more than consumption, then you start to save. You start to save when income is more than consumption. For example, see here. So it means the difference between 45-degree line and this consumption curve, this is called the savings. Okay, so quickly you see what we have learned. First we have learned the consumption function. This is the functional relationship between consumption and national income. So C is equal function of Y, where C consumption, Y national income, F means functional relationship. After that, we have assumed some values regarding income and consumption, and according to this value we have drawn this see consumption curve. In that graph you have seen two parts. In the left hand side, this one is the this savings and this one is the savings. So when income is less but consumption is more, then this savings. When income and the consumption both are equal, then savings is zero, which is called the break-even point. So when income is more than consumption, then this portion is the savings. Okay, but one thing you remember, when income increases, consumption also increases, but not with the same proportion. Okay, because you have tendency to save your money, and it's very practical. Then we have observed some important points, like starting point of consumption curve. It doesn't start from the zero, it starts from above this origin because of autonomous consumption. Slope of consumption curve, see, upward slope. Then when income is less than consumption, then this is this savings. Number 4, break even point, where income is equal consumption, savings is equal 0. And income is more than consumption, then this one is the savings part. Okay, so I hope you understood this lesson, and if you have any problem, let me know in the comment section below and I will try to help you. Thank you.